All right, you ready, girl?
Ready.
Let's do it. Bam. Chop and Brew's Monster Mash mini-series is brought to you with support from Imperial Yeast and all of our ghosts and ghouls over at Patreon. Join them in keeping the show spooky at patreon.com/chopandbrew. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 4th chapter of the Monster Mash mini-series, the finale.
Ooh.
This is Megan Parker of Dogfish Head.
Hey, guys.
And friend of Chop and Brew.
Friend of Chop and Brew. Long time.
Friend of all Minnesotan beer lovers, honestly.
Most of them. It's always that one guy.
And what she brought to wrap up the Monster Mash series is Punkin Ale, Dogfish Head's very popular, apparently, pumpkin beer. So I appreciate you snagging a 6-pack, fighting off the ghosts and the ghouls to get it to us.
No problem. Happy to share.
Yeah, and what I like about this beer is, A, we're going to try it and talk about it, but B, it opens the door for potentially the only controversy in the Monster Mash, which is pumpkin spice beer, yay or nay, mash it or trash it, as I would like to say.
Yeah, it's a divisive topic.
Yeah, so let's just get into it real quick. What is Dogfish Head's take on a pumpkin ale?
Yeah, so...
Or a pumpkin. I'm going to mispronounce
it. Yeah, pumpkin. No M. Yeah, so this is a brown ale. So we actually, we're starting with a brown ale, a little higher ABV, 7%. And then we actually add real pumpkin and then some spices. So we want it to be more balanced. I think Dogfish does a good job of that in general with all of our beers. But this one in particular, we wanted it to be something that, it's really the brown ale with those more subtle notes versus being like an in-your-face pumpkin pie spice.
What kind of process goes on with this pumpkin?
Well, as far as how,
like in the brewing, is it mashed? Do you know?
Yep. Add it in the mash. It's actually, aside from the process, but it's actually the first beer that Dogfish made on a large scale before the brew pub was even open.
Oh.
So in Delaware, there used to be a festival called Punkin, which involved everything pumpkin. There was always recipe contests and things like that, and our founder, Sam, wanted to do something that wasn't just your typical pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread, whatever, so he decided to do a beer.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it originated, besides, the beers that people are more familiar with from the beginning, the 90-minute and the continual hopping and all that stuff. Something that was really unique.
Okay.
Especially probably back in that time when we were getting started. So as far as I know, Punkin Chunkin isn't a thing anymore. They used to do some trebuchet, like pumpkin launches, and I believe someone got hurt, so can't have nice things anymore.
It's all fun and games till someone gets knocked the F out by a chunked pumpkin.
Absolutely. So, but we still have the beer. It has evolved over the years from a 4-pack to a 6-pack. It's part of the seasonal releases, the art series, which is basically a quarterly release where every year there's an artist that designs all those labels too. So it's just kind of a fun series that we do, and this is the only one that comes back year after year. All the other ones kind of rotate in and out with some new fresh things.
Yeah, the new label is really cool. This like electrified pumpkin. Does he have a name, this Punkin Head?
No, the guy does not, or the guy in the art does not have a name. But there's always some fresh take on the logo for that each year.
Okay.
I think within the past couple of years, one year it was like a pumpkin band and like a pumpkin mosh pit, and that was a really good one. So I'm sure there's probably a history of the labels out there, but yeah, just a really fun beer that kind of has a little bit of a cult following.
Yeah.
Just to the extent that it's usually in and out of the market pretty quickly. So.
Cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice.
Yep. And then real chunks of pumpkin, no extract or puree or anything like that with that. And that's another thing Dogfish likes to do, is a lot of beers using culinary ingredients. Yep. So this is a good example.
Extreme Brewing, mm-hmm. Sam.
Yeah.
I think of pumpkin beers in general, it finishes kind of drier. That alcohol, I think, also gives it this little zap. and the spice is not cloying. The sweetness definitely is not cloying.
Yeah.
That's
one thing I've noticed about some other pumpkin beers just over the years is that a lot of them are going for more of that pumpkin pie sweetness, versus pumpkin, thinking of like
spiced
canned,
beer.
if you think of like canned pumpkin and there's like the canned pumpkin or the canned pumpkin pie filling, how they differ in that regard. So this is kind of a similar example. We just wanted to, like I said, to keep it more subtle, but still have those nice fall notes. Great beer to have with your Thanksgiving dinner if you still have some.
Yeah.
But usually it's long gone by then. So
as a person who goes out on the streets, and sells a pumpkin beer,
yeah.
More people accepting of pumpkin beer, or the pumpkin beer hate still prevalent? I mean, every year it's like, it's a conversation, and people like, A, do you like it or not? B, do you spice it or just use pumpkins? Like, what's the point of just putting pumpkin? Like, what makes pumpkin is the spice. So what do you hear on the streets?
I think, like we were talking about before, it's pretty divisive. I mean, some people, it's just pumpkin everything in general, I think. People love it or hate it. But it does vary a little bit year after year in terms of how many pumpkin beers there are, how popular kind of that category, if you call pumpkin beer specifically a category.
Sure. Pumpkin beers to me are so funny because like they become such a more Halloween thing. I definitely think they have a place all the way through, definitely through Thanksgiving,
Absolutely.
but really through the holidays because like they're spiced.
Right.
They're spiced like a treat, like a dessert. So it's always kind of struck me as odd that like kind of like Oktoberfest. Well, after mid-September, October, it's over. But like, dude, you can still drink this all winter. Like,
Absolutely.
it's funny that like the pumpkin spice lattes and a lot of this stuff, I feel like ends pretty much after Halloween versus.
Yeah.
Why not make that money for another month?
I agree. I had some bars and restaurants in the area that, we're doing some October promos and we're reluctant to get it into November, which is silly to me because, have your Thanksgiving special and have some pumpkin beer with it.
So the moral of the story is grab you a 6-pack of pumpkin ale if you can. Save at least half of it for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, keep a bottle or two anyway.
This episode's gonna be out like right at Halloween, so you might be a little late for Halloween unless it's already in fridge. But get it, hold on to it. 7% alcohol. It ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Winter's coming.
True.
I appreciate it.
Cheers.
Also, thanks for checking out the Monster Mash mini-series. Probably could do it every year with different beers. Let me know what monster-themed, Halloween-themed beer that we should tack on for Monster Mash 2022. What's your
There's
favorite?
got to be some good ones.
I know.
When you were talking about Nosferatu, I forgot about that. I hadn't had that in a couple of years. I might have to go find myself a bottle or a can.
Well, me and Megan will confer, and we'll start to build that list. You let us know which ones you want to see too. Happy Halloween. Happy forthcoming holidays. Be safe and enjoy yourself. Chop for chop. Brew for brew. Monster for monster. So that's my advice. Hold on, Don. Come on, man. You know the game. Huh? We're in here rolling. I'm just kidding. It's okay. We're wrapping up. Her bike helmet looks like a pumpkin. Pumpkin spice bike helmets. Damn it, Don. I'm just kidding, dude. Don't clam up like that. Don't go away mad. I didn't mean to yell at you, Don.